Not long to go to the Old Firm, and today I'm talking to Maury. Some of you will know him as Delta Ranger. He's got a Twitter feed, and famously, probably the most well-known thing you've put up is the Rangers and Crocodiles. People can go and explore that themselves. They can find you on your Twitter feed, which is Delta Rangers B, and I'm sure they'll find a few things on there that will raise a wee smile and they can enjoy. So you're out in the Okavango Delta in Botswana, and Botswana is essentially cut off from the rest of the world, and your build up to an Old Firm game would normally be different from the rest of us anyway, being where you are. But obviously with the COVID thing, we're all looking at new ways to get prepared for the Old Firm game. So in terms of getting your news about the game and how you intend to watch it tomorrow, how are you building up? Are you feeling the tension building, or are you just chilled out?
Well, first, thanks, Mark, for having me on. Pleasure having a chat with you, mate. Yeah, no, the tension started building, say, after the last game that we played, because it's the Old Firm that's coming, you know. And then we had that. Well, I don't want to call it god awful. I'm not a huge international football fanatic, but it's always a little bit frustrating when there's no Rangers happening. So yeah, we call it battle fever, don't we? And I felt it growing all week, and it's getting intense. Botswana, yep, we're still locked down. I feel for people in Scotland not being able to go to a bar and stuff, you know, because we had quite a long alcohol ban here. Was it 6 or 8 weeks or something ridiculous? Thankfully, that's over, so we can have a beer. Yeah, I can't wait till tomorrow. I'm fair excited. Would be an understatement. Yeah.
So Stevie G's coming and worked his magic. I like to say to people that I don't think he's made vastly dramatic improvements in the last couple of years, but it's been steady progress. I think he's got to the stage now where he's probably got 2 men for every position. Mm-hmm. Celtic, as we know, are slightly disadvantaged, although they've got a big and expensively assembled squad, but they've got a few guys out through COVID. So you're sitting there from afar, perhaps not getting the same intensity of info as we're getting. Have you got any tips for us in the scorer and the score for tomorrow?
It's dangerous, isn't it? But I suspect I'm looking at a 3-1, a bit of a thriller, but 3-1. And I honestly feel, you know, touch wood and all that, but I feel surprisingly confident going into this. Yeah, I'd say 3-1, and I think Ryan Kent's on fire. I think he's probably going to score the first goal. I could see the Buffalo scoring, and if Davis is playing, I think he'll be leading the pack from midfield. So that's kind of. I feel really confident, and I'm knocking wood. I'm not jinxing anything. It feels different this time, and maybe it is, as you say. There's been this slow rise and build, and it's not them really. The other side, that part of Glasgow, it doesn't really interest me at all. It doesn't matter who it is. We're Rangers, and we need to beat them. That's how it is. But I do feel. I hope I don't learn to regret this, but I feel terribly confident going to their place tomorrow.
And how do you intend to watch it? Are there a few expats around there, or is it a solitary watching a computer?
It's going to be a solitary watching a computer because the borders are closed. The guys I try and get to watch games with, they're in Cape Town. It's a Cape Town supporters club, and really brilliant bunch of guys. When we were still living in South Africa, I would go watch the games with them. So it's going to be a solitary one tomorrow. And then we have this like bar and restaurant here it's actually in the Okavango on a river called the Boro River. So I have to work in our kitchen tomorrow. It's our restaurant. We've finally opened up again to the public. We're lucky enough to be able to make food and sell beer and other beverages. So I can't complain because I know there's so many people that are not fortunate enough to be able to do that. But what I did do is we've got really good reception, Wi-Fi up at the chalets where we live. It's not so strong here at the bar and in the kitchen. So I contacted the internet service provider and I asked them to ramp it up to max. So I'll be flipping hamburgers and making chili dogs, and I'll have my laptop up in the kitchen wall, and I'll be hopefully doing the bouncy there.
So when people get the chance to come to Botswana, there's the famous Tule block, and then there's the Okavango seem to be the two main tourist destinations. So we've got to get you on the map, and people should pop in and say a wee hello.
They must say hello, and by the way, we're it's a very touristy place. The village is called Maun, M-A-U-N, Maun, and it is a village, although it's populated by 50,000 people. But it's kind of where you fly in and fly out if you're visiting the Delta or the salt pans, places like that. And we're a half-hour boat's drive from Maun. It's maybe 40 minutes if you're in a game viewer or a 4x4. This is literally in the middle of nowhere. So you need to have 4x4 vehicles or you will get stuck and then you'll starve and thirst and die. So you need to kind of know what you're doing, but please, if you visit, we'll take care of you, we'll look after you, and what we can also do is point you in a direction of who to get in touch with that would give you not everyone has that much money to throw around, but we know the people to speak with and to arrange safaris and things like this that don't break the bank. Because Botswana, it's quite an expensive country for the big lodges in the Delta, but you don't need to hit a big lodge. You just need to know the right people, and you'll see. I can't even describe the wildlife. It's absolutely incredible. So give us a shout. Any Blue Nose, anybody that's interested in visiting Botswana, please feel free to drop me a note on Twitter or whatever, and I'll be ever so happy to help if I can.
Could you pick up your laptop and give us a wee blast to the river? Is there any wildlife there today?
I'm not sure. There's employees. There's our bar, by the way. Sorry, I don't suppose it's supposed to be there you go. All stuck with the alcohol. And there's a couple of boats there. I'll see if there is anything. I think there's just a few. We've got a little herding village a couple of kilometers from here. That's got some guys. They ride around on horses and dress like cowboys, and then they let their cattle out. I don't see any ellies just now, but we get on this river here. We get elephant, we get hippo, we get crocodile. You get all the Africa type of animals. We've had the occasional lion go past. Leopards can go past. And over there, I'm sure you won't see them from here, but there's a troop of vivet monkeys over there. They're really naughty little buggers, but cute things, So
you're living in the raw, but you've got your barn, you've got your restaurant, so you're not too badly off for tomorrow.
No, not bad at all. I'll definitely be. We're fully booked for tomorrow, which is great. But when it kicks off, I'll be in the kitchen, but I'll be watching the game 100%. It's stranger. It's an old firm. And it's time it's time we're back on top.
Listen, please keep putting up your stuff on your Twitter feed. There's some fantastic footage there. There's some fantastic photographs of the Okavango and the rest of Botswana. and I'm sure we'll chat again. And if there's visitors coming down, you know, I'm sure they'll pop in to see you. So before we say goodbye to you, who would you have as the first scorer tomorrow?
I think I still think it's going to be Kent.
So Kent from open play, maybe big ball if there was a free kick.
Could be something like that.
Well, anyway, my friend, it's a beautiful bit of the world you are. So all the best tomorrow, and we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, listen, hey Mark, thanks so much, and yeah, pleasure anytime, mate.
Be in touch.
Cheers. Good then.